Thank you for joining us here on 5 Plus. Now, for the month of April, we're introducing you to life-changing educators. They've changed lives of students, communities, and because of them, the world is just a better place for kids. Well, today we're introducing you to John Long. He retired recently as a superintendent of Oklahoma's Cameron School District. And this is why his dedication to kids and community is life-changing.
But several of the former baseball players, they were in the gym and they were carrying this stuff out. And the Poto Fire Department said, get out, the gym's fixing to go. And they said, not until we get all the trophies out. They said, you can buy new trophies. They said, it's not the same as the one we carried off the field.
Is this your legacy and the legacy of the students?
It's part of it.
An electrical fire broke out at Cameron High School the night of August 29, 2017, destroying the high school, and it left students without classrooms.
I had retired, but I was coaching high school girls softball and the high school principal at Red Oak. And I was living the dream. I mean, I had a great boss, great school board, everything was going good.
The pieces needed to be put back together. It brought John Long back to the small rural school in Oklahoma, the home of the Yellow Jackets.
Superintendent resigned, and I said, I want to build back the best school that money will allow. You know, whatever we get, we're going to put into this school. Yeah, we could have cut corners, we could have done things, but the kids deserve this. Our kids went without a high school and a gymnasium for 4 years battling this insurance. And that was tough. The freshmen coming in didn't have a high school gym their whole high school career. Thank goodness Carl Albert let us use their gym.
John was a key player in taking the insurance company to court. It took years, but it happened just like Cameron planned. New classrooms, library, digital tools, and a gymnasium unlike any other in the area.
He really wanted to help and be a part of bringing the school back, building the school to give the community back what they had.
We'll show you more of the facilities in just a minute, but first we want to share the legacy of John Long and his impact on the Cameron School District. He had dreams of being a baseball player.
And I tore my rotator cuff, and I was a pitcher, and it was over. If I can't play, I can always coach. And while I was at Southeastern, I met my wife. They say a successful man, there's always a good woman behind them, and there's a lot of truth to that. She would bring the kids to the ball game. I would see my kids at games a lot of times. I never will forget, Lindsay was asleep, my oldest daughter, in the gym foyer after basketball practice one day. She'd walk over after school every day, and she was sleeping out there. She grew up a gym rat, and she loved basketball. And she turned out to be a pretty good high school basketball player because of that. But my family, I realized when my father died that baseball was number one, God was number one, baseball was number two, and they were number three. And I had to reassess that.
During one of his stints as a coach and educator at Cameron, John stepped into something special.
I was coaching elementary basketball, baseball, and softball, girls and boys, and junior high, and got the opportunity to move into the high school. And the very first year, when I went to the baseball field, I'd never seen as much talent on a baseball field in my life. It was in 1988. All the Nye boys, it was the Lomans, Keith Haynes, Frank and Hank Miller. They could just play. I mean, and they had so much fun doing it.
In 1993, with John as Cameron baseball's head coach and talented players lining the roster, something magical happened.
We ended up and won a state record, 6 consecutive state titles.
So, state championship, 93, but
Yes.
It doesn't stop there. We got 94, right?
And then we won the fall of 94 also.
And then 95?
Yes. If you see, in 96, 97, and 98, and then in the fall, we were runner-up 91, 92, 96, and 97. We went 11 years, consecutive years to the state finals. And we were either champion or runner-up.
That's quite a legacy.
And then the last 6 were all champions.
We used to play in Oklahoma City at DeLisi Park, and they had this big lake next to the park. And he said, "Hey, if you guys win this, I'll go jump in that lake." Well, we won it, and guess what John did? It was a great moment, just finding something little to motivate people a little more.
Former Cameron baseball player Rodney Nye, who went on to play for the New York Mets, says John's legacy is championships. But there's so much more.
14, 15 years old, he said, hey, would you like access to the gym? And I said, well, yeah, of course I would. He snuck me a key to the gym so that I could get in and go practice, because he wanted to support my passion for that. And I think about that nowadays. Number one, how much trouble would someone get in? Probably giving a kid a key. But John wouldn't just give me a key. I would be up there practicing, and he would come in there occasionally to check on me. And I can remember him even coming in and, like, you know, helping me with a shot, or I can remember him grabbing a video camera and filming me shooting so I could see myself, to work on my skills. I just kept building on that. But the foundation for work ethic for me started in a gym. It started in the gym on how to take a bunch of shots and get better at it. I think John came into Cameron at just the right time. I mean, if you think about a lot of our dads really kind of started building that legacy. Ricky Lohman, my dad, Rick Nye, they took some talented kids and they put a lot of effort into them when they were young. And so I would say John just came in at the right time with the right personality that just made it all come together.
Cameron head baseball coach and former Major League player for the Atlanta Braves, Kevin Lohman, says John's dedication is the same today as it was back then.
You'd think he still runs a place here because he's still about Cameron. He really is. I mean, he's been to other places, but you would think he was a Yellow Jacket from the time he was born.
Championships lining the wall, students who still flock to a man they respect, and an educator who fought to give Cameron a state-of-the-art place to learn and play, is the legacy of John Long.
Definitely deserves his name on the buildings and stuff here, because, you know, when people think of Cameron, they think of John Long.
He always tried to do what was right. He always put the kids first. I've always said he's a man of integrity.
You have to teach, but you have to be fair. You have to be fair, and you have to give every kid their due. It's not the state championships. It's not the coaches of the year. It's my relationships I built with those students throughout the years that mean so much to me today.
Once things were well underway, giving the community back what it had lost in the fire and what it deserved moving forward, a diagnosis forced John to retire.
First of all, I wasn't feeling well. So I started going to Mercy, and they told me that, you know, you're having liver failure. They said, it started out as fatty liver. And they said, we're going to change your diet. We're going to do some things to try to help you along. Well, it worked. I mean, for almost a year. And then I started swelling. My liver quit. I asked him, I said, why did I have this? What caused it? I don't drink, you know, and that's where I always thought liver problems came from. And they said, the preservatives in our foods. High fructose corn syrup is so bad, and it's in every soft drink. I'm guilty. Processed foods. You know how many hot dogs I ate in my life at a baseball game?
Mentally, that was the hardest part of the journey. I mean, and he didn't really want to retire. He had hoped that he could just stay and enjoy the school and reap the benefits of all that had come together, everybody working so hard.
When I first realized that I was needing a transplant, my doctor in Poto he transferred me to the Liver Institute in Dallas. But they also found cancer in my liver that I had, and they said, we have got to get rid of that before it gets into your bloodstream.
Transferring hospitals meant insurance wasn't going to cover everything. But the community helped John. They gave back just like John did over his years at Cameron.
This huge bill in Dallas. And I thought, oh wow, I'm a retired educator. I don't have this kind of money. This community came together and they did a fundraiser on a Sunday afternoon and raised enough money that with what I had and what the insurance did pay, and I talked to the Liver Institute and they lowered the bill, we covered the cost. I mean, and it was because of what this community did. I couldn't believe how well they came out that day. And there was a live band, there was a silent auction, there was barbecue. It was a great day in Cameron, Oklahoma, and I can't say enough. I can't be thankful enough for what they did.
John got that transplant. He's healthier today and is still coaching, this time as the assistant baseball coach at Carl Albert State College in Poteau. He's still doing what he loves. He carries his legacy with him and the relationships he's made along the way.
You could almost put on my tombstone someday, he accomplished what he set out to do. It's my relationships I built with those students throughout the years that mean so much to me today. They all call me. Yesterday was my birthday. They were all texting me, happy birthday, coach. And you know, that means a lot.
That is the life and legacy of John Long, a life-changing educator. Now, next Thursday, we'll have the story and legacy of another educator right here in our community to tell you all about. Make sure you tune in right here on 5 Plus next Thursday. I'm Jo Ellison. Have a great day.